I've been a yoga instructor for 10 years. I've been a strength coach for 5. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology and about a dozen other certifications. And I also created my own fitness app. So I get asked all of the time, what is your workout routine? And the answer might surprise you. So let's walk through my week together. Good morning. It is Monday, April 28th, and the weather has never been more beautiful. I could not resist bringing my mat outside so that I could do my workout out here this morning. I am about to do my strength workout for the day, which today is upper body build. I will talk about this more, but my weekly movement routine does ebb and flow just depending on what season of life I'm in, but I always try to get 3 strength workouts in every week. For me, that is the foundation. It's a combination of me knowing just how important strength work is, but also that these workouts give me life. They give me energy. They make me feel good. And I feel a noticeable difference when I don't do the workouts. So really the only times that I'm not fitting my 3 strength workouts in are if I'm sick or if I'm on vacation. They're all just around 30 to 35 minutes, pretty manageable, and I make it happen as best I can. My daughter goes to daycare Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I usually do work first thing in the morning before she wakes up, and then we all spend the morning together having breakfast, getting ready for school, and then once she's out the door, I really try to get my workout in first thing, and I use it as a little me time before diving back into the workday. I really love my workouts, and of course there are days where I feel like I don't want to do them, but more often than not, I'm really excited for them because I know how good they make me feel. This was not always the case. You know, I created an online movement studio because yes, it's my purpose, it's my passion. I love helping people develop a true deep love for movement in a way that I think is pretty unique in the fitness industry. But I also like to joke that I never really found a workout that was perfectly suited for me, so I just had to create one. So I feel very lucky in that all of the workouts I do are the workouts that I'm putting together for the playground, and they feel like they're my DNA. They're designed by me, for me, and for anyone who's like me. So because of that, it feels really easy to show up on the mat. And I'm hopeful that other people who do my workouts feel a similar way. Yes, of course, they're challenging. We push ourselves. We really work our muscles, but there's also so much nervous system regulation and nourishment, some delicious mobility for our joints. It just is so much more than sweating till you want to die. You know what I mean? All right, so with all of that being said, let's get into it. So the monthly programs that I'm putting together for members of the playground, which is my fitness studio, are a blend of functional strength, mobility, yoga, cardio, and importantly, something that I think is often overlooked when considering a well-balanced fitness routine, active rest and recovery. So if you were to follow the schedule exactly, you'd be doing strength Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Again, I think for the average human who's just trying to maintain a functional level of fitness and feel good in their bodies, 3 days per week is really the sweet spot when it comes to strength training. Then on Tuesdays, we have a 15 to 20 minute cardio workout. And Thursdays are our eclectic day where we're doing a vinyasa yoga flow or a targeted mobility routine or a restorative session, something like that. And then Saturdays and Sundays are our active recovery days where I'm encouraging you to take some time away from structured workouts and enjoy your life. And this doesn't mean watch TV all day. Both your physical body and your soul will greatly benefit from things like hiking and rollerblading, gardening, playing on a real playground, sledding, depending on the season. So that's what I'm encouraging my members to do. But here's the honest truth. I haven't worked out 5 days a week in over 10 months. And guess what? I don't care. That's not a failure. That's respecting my energy, my season of life, and my sleep schedule, or lack thereof. There's so much noise in the fitness world about doing more and pushing harder, and we're so conditioned to feel guilt or shame whenever we miss a workout. But what an unnecessary waste of energy. We don't need to earn rest. We don't need to squeeze in workouts at the cost of our well-being. Sometimes doing less is the more nourishing choice, is the better thing for our bodies. Because here's the thing, movement doesn't start and stop with a workout. What we do in those 30 to 60 minutes is just one small piece of a much larger movement puzzle. The other 23 hours in our day, they matter just as much. Dare I say, maybe more. Let's forget for a minute what we think exercise is supposed to look like and objectively observe these days when I'm not working out. I am regularly carrying heavy things into the house while holding Murphy. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm picking her up, putting her down, getting onto the floor to play with her. Your fitness routine is obviously important, but if you're just moving straight from your mat to sitting at a desk for 8 hours and then sitting on a couch watching TV and then sliding into bed, your body is going to hurt. It's going to be hard for any mobility that you're working towards in your workouts to actually improve, and your cellular health will naturally decline. But if we can instead aim to fit little bits of movement in regularly throughout the day, your body will start to feel so much better. And I know that can seem like a tall task, especially if you're a desk worker, but I've got a couple of tips for you. Standing desks, firstly, are such a great tool, not because you need to stand all day, but because just the switching back and forth between standing and sitting is so great for our health. And hopefully you naturally inhabit various positions while you're standing that you otherwise would have missed. Carson and I also eat our meals on the floor. We've done this for about 8 years at this point, and just getting down onto the floor and back up again is an important skill to have. But then once you're down there, you naturally end up sitting in various positions, again, that you wouldn't have access to if you were seated in a chair. So every meal is like a free little hip mobility session. I know eating on the floor is not going to be for everyone, but I just wanted to mention it to get your wheels turning, to continue to expand your idea of what our bodies can benefit from that's not just burpees. And then just try to take little 2-minute stretch breaks throughout the day. You don't have to do anything fancy. You can just swing your arms, reach for your toes, whatever feels good. You've seen me doing this joint mobility routine multiple times now. I've been doing this for over 6 years. It takes about 5 minutes to do, and it is just such a great way to hydrate the joints and set yourself up to move well throughout the day, especially after a long night in bed. I always feel so much more alive and more comfortable in my body after doing this quick routine. Before I had a baby, I was pretty religious about doing it first thing in the morning every day, but of course, things change. So as you can see, it's different every day. Sometimes I do it while we're cooking breakfast. Sometimes it's an afternoon stretch break. Sometimes it's scattered throughout the day. Sometimes I don't do it at all. And that's okay. Perfection is not the goal. Sustainability is. So for the past 10 months, I've done my 3 strength sessions. I do my mobility routine as often as I can. And otherwise, I'm living my life. I honestly feel that at this stage, with the amount of sleep I'm getting and just how active I am with my daughter, adding more structured workouts to my routine would be too much. Not only would I feel too depleted, but my body would likely not be properly recovering in between my workouts, and therefore I would likely start to feel burned out, exhausted, my hormones would be wacky, and I may even start to lose muscle. Over-exercising can be a really slippery slope. So to those of you who are parents, your kids aren't keeping you from fitness. They're inviting you into it. The lifting, the walking, the squatting to pick up toys, the dancing around in the kitchen. This is movement. It counts. It builds strength and stamina and resilience. And for those of you watching who don't have kids, it's the same message. You don't need to chase intense hour-long boot camp classes to feel strong and capable. In fact, as a side note, I'm kind of anti-boot camp class. Let me know if you're interested in my thoughts on that down in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video about it. In any case, a little movement here and a little movement there goes a long way. A midday walk, a quick stretch break, it all adds up. Currently pushing my stroller up a massive hill, and this woman walking down the hill with me, she said, "This is good exercise." I was like, oh yeah, you know, you get it. I hope this gives you a refreshing new lens on fitness. You don't need to do it all. Find a workout routine that feels supportive to you. Again, I think 3 strength sessions a week is awesome. If you want to try a strength workout with me, I have a free one listed down in the description. And otherwise, enjoy your life and move in the pursuit of play. Think back to when you would run around outside and build forts and stomp in puddles and climb trees. That's why my studio is called the playground, because if we can weave that joy and curiosity and play back into our routines, we can really develop a love for movement that will last a lifetime.